Hey folks, how we doing? Mr. Carter here, ready to do the Unit 1 review for the Unit 1 test for math. So here we go, let's get started. So our first page here is asking you to, zoom in here, identify the values of the digits in the number 7,641. So again, I'm seeing the word values here. So that's how much the number is worth, okay? So the digit 6 represents, so how much is it worth? It's worth 600 because it's in the hundreds place. So that's what it's worth. That's the value, okay? So now the 7 represents 7,000 because that's in the thousands place, so it's worth 7,000. The 1, well, that's in the ones place, so it's only worth 1. And lastly, the 4, that's in the tens place, so it's worth 40. So again, when you see that word value, it's asking you how much is it worth, not what place value it's in, but how much it's worth. Okay, number 2, it's asking you now to, let me zoom in here. All right, it's asking you now to identify the places of the digits in the number 95,801. Well, this time it's asking you where the place is. So the 5 is in the thousands place. Okay, and the 8, well, that right here, my friends, is in the hundreds place. And the 9 is in, well, if I'm looking at the 9 here, that's in the 10,000s place. Now, if you need help, try to find a place value chart. I know I have some on my math folders in my class, but use that place value to figure out what place value these numbers are if you need it, okay? Okay, so again, this is the ones, that would be the tens, hundreds, thousands, and then 10,000s, right? All right, number 3, they're just asking you to go ahead and write less than, greater than, or equal to for these numbers. So again, the alligator eats the larger number, right? So, or the alligator, the monster, whatever you want to call it, right? So the 650, that would be greater than 605, right? So that, again, that alligator eats the larger number. And I know that because I look at the hundreds place. Oh, we got 6 and 6, so that's the same. So then I need to look at my tens place, and the 5, well, that's larger than 0. So that means that this number is larger than that number. So let's look at this next one, 2,769 compared to 2,796. So again, I start with my largest place value, and that's a 2. Okay, so I need to go to my next one down, 7. Those are also the same. Now here I'm looking at my tens. Well, the 6, that would be less than 9. So that means that this is less than that number. 98,087 compared to 96,050. So again, I'll start with my largest place value and I work my way down. So the 9 and 9, well, those are the same. They're both in the 10,000s place. I look at my next digit. That's the 8. And then the 6. Well, that means that the 8 here is larger. So that this number here, 98,087, is greater than 96,050. Last one, 105,987 compared to 105,098. Well, I can look at these three right together. They're both the same. They're both 105,000, right? So I'm just going to start from there. So now I look at my hundreds, and I see that I have 9 hundreds, and I have 0 hundreds. So that means that this number is greater than this number. All right, let's look at number 4. It's asking you to round these numbers. So the first one it's asking you to round is 7,864 to the nearest hundred. So I like to use what I call the stop sign method, right? So I put my stop sign under the place that I'm rounding to. So again, I'm rounding to the nearest hundred, which means I got to put my stop sign at the 8. Okay. So I write everything up to that stop sign. So I'm going to write that 7, and I'm going to stop. All right, and I got to decide what I need to do with that 8. So the boss, what I call the boss, is that digit after the stop sign. So in this case, the digit is a 6. Well, that's 5 and above, right? So you got to go 5 and above, give it a shove, 4 and below, let it go. So since 6 is larger than 5, we've got to give this one a shove. So we've got to give that 8 a shove and make it a 9. And then everything after the stop sign becomes a 0. So that 6 becomes a 0, the 4 becomes a 0, and there you go. That's your answer, 7,900. Now let's use the same method to round this next number. So round 924,987 to the nearest 10,000. So I got to put my stop sign again, since I'm rounding to the 10,000. I got to put my stop sign under the 10,000's place. Well, that is the 2. So I'm going to write everything up to the stop sign. So I'm going to write that 9, and then I'm going to stop. Then I've got to decide what to do with that 2. Well, the boss is a 4. Since that is below 5, or 5 and above, give it a shove, 4 and below, let it go. So that 4 is below, right? So we're going to leave it alone. We're going to let that 2 go. So we're just going to leave it a 2. Then everything after that stop sign becomes a 0. That 4 becomes a 0. Put your comma. That 9 becomes a 0. This 8 becomes a 0. That 7 becomes a 0. All right, let's do number 5. It's asking you here, Kimberly baked 92 cookies on Friday, 129 on Saturday, and 75 on Sunday. Now she gave away 16 cookies to her friends. She needs at least 325 for the basketball team's bake sale. All right, so without solving, do you think she baked enough? So it's asking you basically to estimate. So I went ahead and did a few of these things here before. So what is it asking us? Well, it's asking us, did she bake enough? Well, in order to find that, we only need to know if she made more than 325. Because again, in the problem, it's saying she needs at least 325. So if she made more than that, then we're good to go. So I'm going to estimate here, and I'm going to use the close to. So on Friday, she baked 92 cookies. Well, I'm going to estimate that to 100. So a friendly number for me is 100. On Saturday, she baked 129. So again, I'm going to estimate that 230. That's close to, and it's easy for me to work with. And then on Sunday, she made 75. Well, I'm going to estimate, and I'm going to use the close to number of 80 because that's close enough. So then, again, to figure out how many she baked, we got to add these up together. So 0, 0, 0. 8 and 3 is 11. Carry that 1. 1, 2, 3. So that's 310. But we can't forget that she gave 16 away. So again, to estimate that, I'm going to say that she gave away 20. Just again to use a close to number. So if I subtract 20 from 310, well, that gives me 290. All right. Now, friends, did she bake enough? No, she didn't, because again, remember, she had to bake more than 325. So no, she did not bake enough. Now let's look at this. So, I'll go down here. How do you know? Explain your estimation strategy. So I used the close to estimation strategy. You may have used something different, but that's the one I chose to do. I added 100 plus 130 plus 80 to get a total of 310. Then I subtracted 310 from that 20 to get 290. All right, so now down here it's asking you to find the exact number of cookies Kimberly has baked for the bake sale. So I'm going to just write your number model down. So again, we've got to add Friday, which is 92, to 129, 129 plus 75 for Sunday. When I add these up together, and I'm just doing this really quickly for the sake of time, but you're gonna stack it and add it correctly. But the total for this is 296. Now what I'm gonna do is I need to take that 296 and I need to subtract it from the one she gave to her friends, which is 16. And again, I'm doing this quickly just for this video, but you're gonna stack these, and again, you're gonna do what you need to do to subtract. So the answer here is 280. All right, so our exact is 280. So way down here, and I know it's hard to write, but look back at your estimate. So my estimate was 290. Does that answer make sense? Well, the answer is 280. So yes, it makes sense because my estimate was close to my answer.